everyone, and welcome to this new episode of Business Africa. I'm India Yoka. Here's what we have for you today. The rise of e-commerce in Africa is transforming shopping habits. We will explore how this trend is opening economic opportunities despite the challenges. In Ghana, the surge in mobile gaming could catalyze the emerging video game industry, potentially driving economic growth. In the heart of Uganda, a farmer has ambitious dreams, producing mushroom wine for both local and international markets. Africa is gearing up for an e-commerce boom with projected growth of $15 billion by 2028. These present both challenges and opportunities for market players like Jumia.
With a young population that is more and more connected and the rise of e-transactions, e-commerce is transforming Africa's economic landscape. The continent is gearing up for a boom in e-commerce. Fintech company Ecolipe forecasts the market will grow by $15 billion between 2024 and 2028, or a growth of about 49% in 4 years. According to Statista, only 13% of Africans shopped online in 2017. The sector's growth soared by 140% between 2017 and 2021. By the end of 2025, nearly half of the continent will take part in e-commerce. The habits of African online shoppers have evolved thanks to online platforms where fashion, electronics and media are the most popular sections. Jumia, which is often referred to as Africa's Amazon, stands out with about 22 million visits per month. By readjusting its strategy with optimized cost management and centralized warehousing, the platform gets ready to increase its market share in Africa's e-commerce. Payment methods remain a stumbling block, though. In addition to high shipping fees, according to the World Bank, the average cost to export a container from sub-Saharan Africa stood at $2,504 in 2019, while it cost about $1,033 to do it from Eastern Asia and the Pacific. To take advantage of the 650 million e-shoppers expected in the next 5 years, investing in logistics and simplifying digital payments will be key.
Renaud Glenisson, Regional Director of Jumia for 5 African countries, joins us from Côte d'Ivoire. Welcome to the show. Jumia is a major player in the African e-commerce market. What obstacles has it faced and what factors has contributed to its success?
First of all, there was the low penetration of the internet. In Africa, the quality of connections varies widely, so we had to speed up mobile internet sales to make sure people had access to internet. And then we had to make sure we found alternative solutions when people didn't have internet access. For example, we offer our customers the option of calling customer service to place an order. We also developed the solution of our sales agents who go out in the field and with whom our customers can buy and place orders when they don't have access to the internet themselves or simply when they cannot read. Another obstacle we've had to face is the low rate of bank penetration. So we had to come up with a cash-on-delivery solution. Another problem, if I may say so, is the logistics infrastructure, and that's a big issue for the business. We had to create our own logistics network, working with local logistics partners. Our problem in many African countries is that road infrastructure is relatively well developed in the capital cities, but a little less so in the interior.
The growth of e-commerce in Africa is often attributed to the development of mobile payment solutions. Is that true?
It's helped us a lot in many ways. I have to admit that. For example, it offers customers the possibility of paying online or, of course, anything prepaid. That's good for us because we know we're more likely to deliver. The point is that the customer has to come and pick it up. Whereas when we use cash on delivery, a lot of people abandon their delivery because they forget or don't have the money when the product arrives. Having said that, we don't have enough penetration today. For example, in West Africa, Wave has made things much simpler. Orange Money was the leader, But despite that, we don't have very high penetration. Whereas in Kenya, mobile money penetration is almost 100%, but it's not going to revolutionize our service, unfortunately.
In 2017, 13% of Africans were shopping online, a figure expected to reach nearly 50% next year. How do you envision integrating rural areas?
We launched a test in Ivory Coast in 2017. We began to set up in other cities, notably Bouake, then San Pedro, Yamoussoukro, and others. We saw the incredible success of these installations. We then decided to move into the interior of the country, into smaller towns and even villages. And in fact, that's what makes Jumia so successful today. People realize that we sell at the same price as in the capital, and so today the majority of our sales are in the interior of the country and no longer in the capital city.
I'd like to conclude with government initiatives. What role do they play and how can they strengthen the e-commerce sector?
It's important to note that internet giants like Facebook and Google operate in Ivory Coast but without paying any taxes. This was a kind of injustice for us, as we are taxpayers in all African countries. Recently, more and more countries such as Ivory Coast and Senegal are implementing taxes for these operators, which seems fair and beneficial for the states. Another aspect that could help us in the long term is the free trade zone set to be established in 2027. This would allow us to expand beyond the countries we currently operate in.
Thank you for your insights.
You are welcome. Thank you very much.
In Ghana, mobile gaming is experiencing rapid growth. Revenues are expected to surpass $90 million this year, opening up new opportunities for the local industry.
Mobile gaming is gaining popularity in Ghana thanks to increased access to smartphones and improved internet connectivity. This trend could boost game development in the country. Prince Nelson plays games on his mobile phone to pass the time and manage his anxiety and also reduce his stress.
I play FIFA Mobile, and because I'm a fan of Chelsea Football Club, I always choose the team when playing in a league.
With a forecast of 7.5 million mobile game users by 2027, Ghana sees mobile gaming as a driver of development, as highlighted by the president of the Ghana Esports Association.
When we talk about gaming, it's not only about the playing, we also talk about the development of gaming, which in a nutshell comes into education, employment, entrepreneurship, community development and all that.
Mobile gaming revenues are expected to exceed $90 million this year. However, Ghanaians are not yet the main creators of these games. Experts believe that the potential for local games is considerable.
We make our own games, then we are creating employment opportunity for game studios, which are locally. That talks about infrastructure.
In Ghana, video game revenues are expected to exceed $135 million this year, while mobile gaming boosting esports and creating jobs.
It may take a while, but with the right investment and support, local developers could also start winning over users one game at a time. Nabil Ahmed Rufai, in Accra, Ghana, reporting for Africanews.
In Busunju, Uganda, a farmer is innovating by turning mushrooms into wine and aims to export the product internationally. Razia Athman has more on this report.
Commercial production of this edible mushroom has exploded across the continent. Marketed as a healthy food, farmers are striving to reap its benefits. But deep in the village of Busunju, central Uganda, Millie Sebagala has big dreams, producing wine from mushrooms for local and international markets. Her pharmacist daughter helps her distill 100 liters per day.
What we are working on right now is improving it better so that we can be certified. We are looking at making a factory, a big factory of this wine, and we can export it outside because our wine is not only wine, but it's medicine.
The launch is difficult in a market saturated with dozens of alcohol brands, with limited capital and insufficient volumes of mushrooms to support a factory. The global mushroom market size is estimated at $55 billion.
There is no much mushrooms that would trigger and sustain a mushroom processing factory, for instance. So there is that production constraint. The second constraint is the structuring of the business in itself. The kind of structuring that is required, we need to have big time producers around whom we can get now other commercial producers.
While waiting for national certification, mushroom wine sells in bars at $6 for a 700 milliliter bottle. Ugandans, who are heavy consumers of alcohol, have shown growing interest.
That concludes Business Africa. To watch this episode, visit Africanews.com and our digital platforms. See you soon.